Wow, I am very surprised with the mixed reactions I got on the previous video. Thank you for your comments. It's interesting to see what you all have to say. And to the individual who commented this, I play the instrumentals in the background so you know what the song sounds like, and so you don't have to hear my plain monotone voice. And Jimmy, I can't talk about the previous albums without discussing where it all started. So I present to you Fusion Till I Hear From You. Nick's first band was a Deep Purple cover band called Half Pint Hog, and during one of their live shows, the bassist of Fusion, Ken Olsen, was in the audience because he was there to see Half Pint Hog's second guitarist Paul Hart. Olsen thought that Hart was pretty good, but he thought that Nick was better, and it helped that Nick had the ability to write good songs too. The band sent Nick a tape and he practiced all their songs that were on the tape. He then went in for his audition, which ended up being a rehearsal because the band had gotten the gig soon after. And Fusion had found Nick's audition impressive. He learned all of their songs from the tape. He also started to teach the band some of his own songs. After they learned his song Mosquito, they offered him the role and he turned it down. Nick walked a mile to the nearest phone booth and called Fusion telling them he changed his mind and asked for the role back. After all, it was his dream to join a professional music group, and a production company had taken interest and wanted to change the name for political reasons. The band had recorded a few songs under the name The Reg Webb Band, but due to a scandal, the company had gone bankrupt, and because of that, couldn't pay the studio bill. Fusion's master tape was still in the studio. Legally, they didn't own it, but since the studio bill wasn't paid, it no longer belonged to the production company either. So the band took their tape back, and a label by the name of, well, Reg Webb himself said that Teldec released the album in Germany in 1979, but Discogs says it's Strand, so I'm unsure which is correct. But by 1980, Nick had started to write his own demos, and Fusion had played them for him. The songs he wrote were Suki and Look Behind You. Nick had wrote songs to send him for his own solo career, but the band had ended up using Nick's demos for their previous songs to scramble up a new album, which ended up becoming Fusion Till I Hear From You, which was released under Telephone Records in 1980. Both of these albums have most of the same songs, but for the sake of this video, I will be reviewing the different songs from each album as they're all one. Track 1, I Ain't Signing Nothing / Till I Hear From You. This song is the only single that was released for the album. I think it's a solid track, it has some synth key, the outro is quirky, and it fits well with the rest of the song. Halfway through the song, there is some brass and some drums that sound different from the rest of the drums. It caught me off guard, but it kept me engaged. 6 out of 10. Track 1A, Simple Song. This song is the B-side of the single to the previous song. This song was not brought back for the 2013 remaster of Till I Hear From You for some reason. I think it is very catchy, and Reg's piano playing sounds very Elton John-like to me in this song. I always get reminded of elevator music when I hear this. The chorus seems a bit slower than the rest of the song, but I think it fits well that way. 4 out of 10. Track 2, Champagne Lady. The intro gives me a bit of a serotonin boost. I really like the bass on this song, a good balance between funky and groovy. The brass adds a nice touch, and Reg is also a great singer, especially for this genre of music. It definitely sounds like something I would hear playing while shopping at a thrift store. One of those songs you've never heard before that kind of sounds like a generic jazz funk song. Wonder why. 3 out of 10. Track 3, Big Brother. Nick sings on this track. I like how different instruments go through each headphone, adds character. I'm unsure if Nick wrote this song, but it sounds like it's structured like a Nick song. I don't know much about music theory, but from listening to Nick so much, I've caught on to his style. The chorus of the song is very upbeat and catchy, and around a minute in, there's a synth key that pops out at you. I love the guitar solo on this track. Around the end of the song, there's also a fake out where you think the song ends, but then the chorus starts right back up again. 7 out of 10. Track 4, In the Union Now. The opening sounds like Mario Kart music to me. The song has a nice drum beat going for it. The style in which Reg sings is catchy, the bass is all over the place, especially mixed with the synth keys, but it all clashes so nicely. The song slows down, completely changes its tone. It's almost like 2 different songs in one. It's a nice change of pace, it kept me interested. I like how it doesn't build back up. So far I've wanted to skip a couple of these songs, but not this one. They're nice, but also kind of repetitive. 6 out of 10. Track 5, Suki. This song is the only song Until I Hear From You that has a completely different vibe from any of the other songs I've heard thus far. Lots of synth, some guitar. The intro surprised me. I was not expecting a song like this on this album. I know this one was written by Nick, hence why I like it so much. It's not just the instrument here that makes the song vibe different. It definitely has a lot to do with Nick's structure that I was mentioning earlier. It's also the longest song on the album. 7.5 out of 10. Track 6, Play Around. This song was written and recorded while Nik was still in Half Pint Hog, and Fusion's ex-guitarist Ian Pierce was playing on this song. It has a decent amount of synth, and I don't really like the effect on Reggie's voice. This is also the shortest song on the album, 4 out of 10. Track 7, How Was I Supposed to Know? To me, this song is very boring, and the only highlight about it is the bass. But oddly enough, I really like the song. It's pretty slow. I don't have much to say about this one. 6 out of 10. Track 8, If I Had the Chance. I find this one to be groovy and upbeat. The bass of all things is what makes me want to dance. I love the pace changes in the song, and so far I've noticed a few of the songs on this album that do that. Change key and pace. It works on some songs, and others I feel it doesn't work. It works great here. The guitar isn't loud enough. Maybe that was intentional. But this song would be an 8 if the guitar was more prominent throughout the song. 7.5 out of 10. Track 9, Pain of Love. Probably the most plain song I've heard on the album thus far. I like the chorus more than the rest of the song. It's average. 5 out of 10. Track 10, Don't Believe It. This one is fun. Still sounds like all the rest of the songs to me, but has some differences. The bass is also a standout here. I like the buzzing synths on the track too. A little different from the synths we've heard on this album so far, but has a lot of pip. 6 out of 10. Track 11, Look Behind You. Now this song is a special one. Nik Kershaw fans will know this as Human Racing. I see it as a beta version of the song, not a demo because obviously this song was produced for this album. Human Racing probably has its own demo out there somewhere. I love the old detuned synth, and Nik sounds much younger here, even though it was only a 3 or 4 year gap between this album and the Human Racing album. His voice is also improved from this version. It sounds as if there was a couple notes he could barely hit. I wonder if he took singing lessons. This version of the song also ends differently, but my question is, why did he take this song for his debut album, and why did he change the name to Human Racing? Also, how many of you knew this? Let me know in the comments. 9 out of 10. Track 12, Hey Mr. Wonderful. I also find this track to be very plain, painfully average. I wish most of the songs on this album had their own vibes, but most of them just sound so similar. 3 out of 10. Track 13, My Love Ain't Lovin' Me None. I like this one. It has a synth key that I haven't heard thus far, so it's a little change in the music, but aside from that, this one still sounds like all the rest to me. 5 out of 10. So that was everything. The reason it taken me so long to make another video is because I knew I had to do this album next. It just felt right to start here. Explore Nik's roots of Suki and Look Behind You. I'm not very keen on this album, it's not my type of music, and while I appreciate the contributions from the other band members, I am here for Nik. Nik has almost nothing to do with this album besides his 2 songs and him playing guitar in every song except Play Around. I don't think it's a bad album, it's just not my cup of tea. I know this video is quite a bit shorter than the last one, even though this album has more songs, and it's just because I don't have much to say about them. This album gets a 79 out of 130, or since Nik's first 4 albums each have 10 songs, we can go by that mathematical ranking, so this one would get a 60.77 out of 100. A higher score than I thought I would end up with, but that's probably because there's 14 songs. But I guarantee you this will be the lowest of all the scores. Thank you all for listening and keep up the comments and feedback. I will be doing Human Racing next and it will come sooner than the time gap between the works and this. Thank you.